Good morning. Welcome to TERRA at Home. We're here with crafty Colleen today, and we're outside enjoying this lovely fall weather, and you have some good ideas for us to sort of enjoy all the holidays that are hitting us one after the other right now.
Exactly. Yeah, so just like a little bit of alternative, because sometimes this time of year your flowers are they're done blooming, so you need something in your planters that are a little bit different, and what better way to do it than with a bunch of pumpkins.
Yeah, I like this idea. Okay, so explain how, well, who knows how things come to your mind, but you just but there are so many different types and colors, and
pumpkins are so fun. Like you can get like the little mini ones. Like I just did this little pumpkin stack that you can put inside as well.
I love that. That's so cute.
Or you can just do a collection of them outside. So if you have like that little bistro set, you know, you could have like one sitting on your table on your back porch.
And they're so natural and rustic, and they just have their own character to themselves, never mind what you're doing to them now. Right?
I know, like you can get like the simple, like the normal pumpkins and do it like that. It looks a little bit more snowman. Some of them are a little squishy. You've got like this one here that's got like the warts on it, and you've got the other ones that have like just the different colors and different textures.
More of a rusty red, and cool.
So they're lots of fun.
Okay, but we know pumpkins are very hard.
Yes.
So you're trying to get a dowel in there somehow.
Yes, in order to support the stacked pumpkins, you need a dowel or something. Like I'm just using a piece of bamboo, and you can pre-drill it just with your handy drill.
Yes.
Or you can also use a hammer and
give it a little
hammer
tap.
it in.
Okay.
And just leave the soil in your pot already, and then you put your first one in. On top.
Now you kind of added a couple little buckets in here.
Yes.
I do that too. I grab whatever's around. I have like old sort of bricks from my stonework that were done, and I just stack them in there sometimes.
Yeah, whatever it's going to be, whether it's still the soil, like you can just take your plants out, and if the soil's in there, or if you have an empty pot, you can just put some other pots in the bottom, or whatever you need just to support it to keep this up. This one here, I actually used a wreath as the base.
Oh, okay.
And
then you set on top.
Yeah, so you sit that on top, and that kind of fills this in. I'll show you a couple other options
That's
with
a good
this
idea.
one. So with this one here, I just put the dowel in the middle, and then if you want to hand me that orange one there.
There you go. Oh yes, it's pre.
I have already put the hole through it.
Smart.
And then you just start.
It's always
stacking.
better for TV too.
Yes.
Bad things happen when you're on TV. Things don't always work smoothly.
So then you just kind of put them in there, and then this one as well. I've just put a hole in this one. And then so that's going to support it. And you can go as tall as you want. The taller you go, the more support you're going to need, just so that it doesn't, topple over in the wind and make a big mess, because they do kind of smash if they hit the ground.
Yeah.
So then with this one here, just as an alternative, I'm going to fancy this one up a bit. So I've just made a bow out of this mesh. And stick that in there, and that fills up the front a bit. And then there's tons of other options this time of year. You can put like just some artificial sunflowers. You can kind of poke them in there if you want to. I've also got these artificial leaves. I'm just gonna.
We have a lot of little items like that right now here.
Oh,
I noticed in
definitely.
the store. I just kind of wander around, and earlier on when I made my mum pots, I was just grabbing all different fun things to stick in there.
Sticks and twigs and leaves and moss as well, just to kind of fill in the gaps here.
And you guys do awesome, like, again, examples of what people can do, so it sort of triggers that imagination in people.
And if you already have something, we'll help you out.
Right.
Or you have a half a thought, we'll help you complete the thought.
You're like, I kind of know what I want to do here, but
we love brainstorming, and we're pretty good with figuring out what to do with everything. And if there's something that you see that you're not sure what to do with, because there are some things that it's like seeing a sweater on a hanger, you're not quite sure what it looks like until you try it on.
It's true.
So this just kind of covers up the pot with the moss there. And then these are actually real leaves that have been preserved.
I was wondering. Oh.
So the real leaves that have been dyed, and they've been preserved with a silicone, so they actually will stay pliable the whole time.
I was feeling them, and I thought, these seem so real to me that's what it is.
Yeah, they're
That's
real
awesome.
oak leaves.
Oh, how neat.
So you can just kind of stick them in there, and then in between the pumpkins, sometimes you get a bit of space too. So you can also use, like I've done with the little one here, you just put some little bit of moss.
Oh yeah, that's right. Get some.
The moss is a little bit messy too, so this is something you do want to do outside and have a broom handy.
Yeah.
You just stick a little bit in there to finish it off. And you can use like grapevines or like anything that you have in your garden. You can use like hydrangea flowers too, like a nice little skirt of that. Another thing that you can do with the mesh, because it comes in different widths too, you can even kind of gather it up and pinch it in, and then do like a little skirt around the bottom. And so that you have like a little, an edge around the bottom using the mesh too.
And that's the thing, you look at some of these ideas and you're, okay, you know what, I have a little bit of that at home, or here I'm gonna buy this and add this with that, and it just starts.
It's a great time to use up like any leftovers, little bits and nips that you have for fall, just to keep it into the fall theme, keep it naturals, anything that's oranges, the reds, the burgundies.
And you could see, like, you know, this is a smaller pot to the ground, but it's a nice size, but you could make like big tall ones, put 2 of them outside, framing the front door of your house.
And do a collection of them too. Like if you just have like a small porch, rather than doing one on either side, you could do like one of these, one of these beside it, and even just a little one in front, and even just a few extra pumpkins. You can also take the pumpkin, hollow it out and plant it. And then you could have like the flowers kind of growing out of the pumpkin, like just pop a mum in there, and that's really cute. And then also these little ones, you can hollow out the top and put like little tea lights in it.
Yes, I have done that before. They're hard.
They are
and
hard.
You got to really kind of dig at it, but I've done that before for Thanksgiving, and I've done them down the table.
Yeah,
and
super cute.
It's great, and it's just it's easy, as I say. It's a little bit trying to get in there, but you can. And these last. I mean, you can do what, especially when you're just doing a little hole in them. You can even take them indoors, and they'll last for the time period that we need them to last.
Exactly. Like they're not going to last for months, but you don't need them for that.
We don't need them. We're already switching over to Christmas.
Exactly.
So I can imagine that you could really take something like this and you could just switch it over and make it fun and spooky for Halloween too, because you've seen people like before stack like jack-o'-lanterns as well. So take this whole idea and let it kind of go. And
you could take one of these and have it hollowed out, and you can take your drill and drill a whole bunch of holes in it, and then put some mini lights inside. So then like your middle one could have it. You could also take one and do like a monogram for your front door.
That's nice.
I've also seen them done where you carve your house numbers going up or down.
Oh, fun. And that's, you know what, so you can kind of go sort of whimsical with this kind of stuff. You can go very classy and really just, you know, like this is just very beautiful, but you can go all fun and decorative and go bananas
spray
with
paint.
It. Yeah, spray paint, I'm thinking
spray paint like all different colors and have like lots of fun.
All the metallics that people are loving right now, and have lots of fun.
So bronzes and coppers.
Love the idea of the wreath as well, because that gives you a really strong base that gives you a ton, and it fills in almost instantly everything there too. So think about it, if you have any wreaths, we have tons. Throw something in there and build from there.
Yeah, and it could be any wreath. Like this is kind of a twiggy wreath with some berries, but you could also use just a plain grapevine wreath.
Yes.
You can use like a boxwood type wreath or anything like that, and then the boxwood could also translate over into Christmas too.
Yeah, and then there you're using all of the items you have around the house, incorporating what we have here at the store, and you've got some new ideas.
For sure.
Aw, thank you so much, Colleen. These are good ideas. I guess I'm going to try this. Maybe I'll get you to drill the holes for me, though. That's it for now. We're going to have more Terra at home. Lots more fun, creative ideas here as we make our way through October.
Live color fully at Terra, where color lives.
Heritage perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good morning. Welcome to Terra at Home. I'm here with David from David Williams Shoe in Dundas. So nice to be in the store. Love shoes. So love being here right now. Love being able to talk about, well, shoes and boots and transitioning. We're officially mid-fall right now. So people are, I mean, it's my favorite time of year to buy footwear.
Mine too.
Is it?
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, I think
I'm done with summer right now.
Yeah, you know what? We're kind of like, you know what? We're done with the flip-flops and all those summer shoes, and we've officially said, hey, you know what? It's getting cool enough outside. We have to, that first time of covering up the toes and all that, right? In the last few weeks. So, there is something for everybody when it comes to footwear, and some people have a hard time finding what's right for them. I personally find it very, very easy to find what's right for me, but we're going to kind of go through some styles, and obviously winter is around the corner at the same time, you know, a couple months away, so we have to think about that too.
Yeah. Well, we can certainly, you know, talk about some of the different styles. I mean, you'll see on the table here there's a consistency of smaller booties. One of the most difficult things for us to fit is not so much the foot size, but it's the calf size. So whether you have a small calf or an aggressive calf, we'll call it that.
Aggressive, that's a good word.
That is probably one of the key points when the ladies who don't like shopping, they avoid that whole process, is that it's the calf size that's the big stumbling block.
And you know what, I'll say that for myself because I have really small calves, so I want
You
my
don't have to worry.
boot. Well, see, I find I do. So that's the irony of the whole thing is when I go places, I can't find a boot that will fit my calf nice and tight. It's very rare, so it's a one-off here and there. But maybe I need to come to your store more often if you're telling me this,
There
right?
you go. Well, you were hovering around the store for a while, so now it's time to come in.
Okay, so you're finding more often people are finding that their calves are not fitting in the boot, so the zipper's just not doing up.
No, I mean, for example, a boot like this, which happens to be our #1 adjustable boot for that larger calf
Smart.
lady, is that you can actually have a 13.5-inch calf,
Yes.
or you can now widen that out and adjust it to an 18-inch calf.
That's awesome.
So yeah, this is a boot that actually doesn't see the light of the day too often. I mean, or certainly in the store.
Sure,
It definitely gets sold
probably
quickly.
moving those quickly.
Yeah.
What an amazing thing. What a smart idea. It really
Yeah.
is difficult. Now, I coach the Tiger Cat cheerleaders, a lot of people know, and even within dancers from ages 18 to 30 years old, our calves range like you wouldn't believe. And again, it just depends on your body type. It has nothing to do with anything else other than it's your body type. So you sometimes don't know until you go to try on a boot. That's very important, and you want it to fit well.
True. I mean, you talk about body type, and obviously you've gone to a store before and saw something on the shelf, be it a boot or a piece of apparel. You love it on the shelf. But once you get it on your body, you kind of go, that's not the one for me.
Exactly.
Same thing with boots. For example, a lady who happens to be, we haven't talked about body style, but tends to be more of an inverted triangle, which, you know, the lady would show more of her weight up in the bust area, shoulders, and hips, and be somewhat skinny down in this area. She needs a boot like this, not only for that adjustable calf, if she happens to have one, but also to scale the rest of her body for balance.
And see, that's a lot of people don't think about that. So having a little tiny booty might not work out.
No, if you went to a booty like that with that body type, then your body would just absolutely consume that, footwear.
I can see that, right. Okay.
So you also, you know, I'd preface this, Leslie, on any of what you wear with footwear or that of apparel. It's all about how confident you are in your body.
Now you're looking at it from a different perspective than a lot of businesses would, though. I mean, some people just will sell a shoe to sell a shoe, but you're trying to help somebody look great from head to toe, feel great from head to toe, and also really well-made, solid shoes that are good for your feet, which are good for your body.
Yeah,
Right?
there's nothing worse than to have footwear, or I'm just going to say apparel and footwear is in there, and it's the wrong style or it's the wrong shoe. You've seen ladies that are dressed to the nines wear a shoe they can't walk in.
Yes.
Or they can't walk in properly.
Right. Like
So you
beautiful
don't-
heels
totally
that
unsexy.
they can't, exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Or they're having a hard time walking across the street in.
Yeah.
So you need something, put them on and walk around the store, and obviously having advice from somebody that's qualified really gives some good perspective, right?
And I will say it. You know, I'm a rather
Honest.
opinionated guy with the respect that if I don't like it on you,
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And
But
that's
you know what?
comforting to most
It
women.
actually is, really, because a lot of times women are in a store looking for advice from somebody. So you're there, you're going to give it. So let's go around the table, and
Sure.
you know, we're talking about, okay, so a tall boot. Can even a short, tiny little person wear a tall boot? If we look at it the other way around?
They can. For example, we have over a knee boot here. And as a blanketed statement, I would normally suggest to a height-challenged lady to stay away from that over-the-knee boot,
Sure.
with the exception of, is that if they want to put a block heel or a stiletto.
Okay.
Stiletto is obviously a finer heel, so
Right.
and if they can walk in that 3.5 inch or 4 inch with an 1.5 inch platform on the front, then they're going to get that height, and hence they can go up a little bit.
Makes sense.
That being said, though, is that they're going to have their skirt hemline a little bit above the knee. I mean, above the knee.
That's the thing, everything's got to kind of balance itself out, right?
That's right. So a skirt or that of a dress, I would suggest, you know, if you're height challenged, then you want to go with a over-the-knee boot with a heel. You put a legging on.
Okay, that makes sense. That
Yeah.
helps, and you don't have to worry about having a
Yeah.
very short skirt. All right,
Yeah.
so looking around, obviously we're still seeing, you know, some trends. We're loving the lace-up boot, so that one's carried over from last season.
Yeah, the lace-up, obviously, you know, business up the front, party at the back,
Yeah.
so that you can do the laces up first, and then you can actually zip out the side.
Right, I love that. That makes it a lot easier than.
Your ladies are going to become more like us men. We want it easy breezy.
Sure, exactly.
Same thing here, where you can actually take it out the back as well. The Bloodstone boot,
Love them.
any body type. It's probably one of our #1 selling shoes, and you can wear that with a skirt, a dress, leggings, a
Yeah.
skinny, a cigarette pant, anything you'd want.
And that's
that
what I love
is
about that boot, because
in
I
play.
have seen this on everybody, male and female. That's the cool part about it. It's a totally unisex boot.
Skirt, not for me though.
No, okay. Yeah, you might want to opt out of that,
Yeah,
depending.
I do
Depends
that.
how you feel that day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, by myself.
But those
maybe.
are great, and I love, and they last forever and ever and ever. So
Yeah.
those are good boot.
The other one that we do quite well with is a platform wedge. This is a fly London boot, so you have 1.5 inches up front with 3.5 inches on the back. So your foot is about on a 2.5 inch plane, and you can wear that with anything.
That's a nice looking boot, and when you do have that little bit of lift, I always find I feel a little bit more dressed up when I have a little bit of a lift in my shoe. And again, it's a reminder, you're getting height from that, but you're actually not.
You feel like you're in a flat.
Right, because
Yeah.
your foot's not going forward, your heel's not up that high.
That's right.
Because you're getting it out the front as well. So it makes you a couple inches taller
Yeah.
if you need that little bit of a lift. I love this. So again, lots of variety. Colors. What are we seeing in store? Obviously, we're seeing a lot of color.
Burgundy. Definitely.
That's the
in
big one, right, this
Yep,
year?
the burgundy is the big one. Black is we're still in North America, so the black is still
Yeah,
a
always
prevalent
revert
color.
back.
And brick is a new color.
Love that.
Brick and the coach color has done really, really well.
Sure, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So again, obviously great advice that you can to give the males and the females that come into the store, and that's what we need. Sometimes if we don't know what looks good on us, we need some good, cold, hard advice, right?
Yeah. Thank you
Everybody
very much.
can wear a boot and a shoe, and everyone's going to need one very,
Absolutely,
very soon
yeah,
if you're not
very-
already
very-
sporting
very
one
soon,
out there.
very
Oh
soon.
yes, thank you so much. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
thanks,
All right,
thanks.
that's it for now.
Thanks
We'll
very
have
much.
more Terra at home to come.
Live color fully at Terra, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Good morning. Welcome back to Terra at Home. We're back with Chef Mark from La Piazza Allegra restaurant in Hamilton, and we are making ravioli today.
We're making a ravioli. Now this one is I like it. It's a real nice fall ravioli. It's a little bit different than your traditional ravioli because what we're doing here is we're taking dates, nice and sweet, and we're going to put in some rosemary, which again is savory, a little bit
Yes.
robust, and we're going to make these beautiful little raviolis. And then we're going to make a nice, simple alloy of butter sauce
Oh,
for it.
this looks good. I like
Really,
this.
really simple. So I already made the raviolis ahead of time, obviously. So I'm going to show you how we got to that process.
Okay.
So what we have here is boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And all I did is I put a little parchment down to use it as a cutting board because I don't want to be getting chicken all over this. And it's just a rough cut because what ends up happening is we're going to end up making a mixture that we end up putting into a food processor and end up just pureeing it slightly.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So rough cut. And in it goes. Now I'm going to take my paper and get rid of that.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have these dates. These are fantastic, nice and large.
I love those dates.
Just going to take out the pit, and again, rough chop, in it goes. There we go.
And I do like the combination. Dates just give such a warm sweetness. It's so earthy and
Earthy, exactly. And we're going to take some walnuts. We'll give them a quick chop.
ravioli always looks like one of those things. It looks very tedious and time consuming to me.
It can be. You know what? This is one of those dishes that it's great to get the kids involved in.
Sure,
You
yes,
know, so
absolutely.
once you make the mixture for them, you show them how. They might not make them all perfectly, but not to worry.
And then if they help out, they're so much more inclined to actually try it and maybe enjoy it because they're really watching the ingredients going
That's
in
right.
and they participated. They
They-
have to at least try it then.
Yeah, you know, they'll give it a whirl. And you know what? You're right. It's easier to sell when they're involved. So we're going to take some rosemary.
Do your kids have good palates? Are they open to?
My little guy, he eats everything I make. My older guy, he's a little pickier, so it puts a little more pressure on me to be creative.
They like the 2 different meals in the house kind of thing. And,
Yeah, he's, you know what, if it's brown and beige, he loves it. If it's got too much color, then it scares him a little, so.
Isn't that funny?
We-
Right
we-
from the
we
same
have to get-
household with the chef as a dad.
Yeah,
Just it's comforting to know for all the other parents at home that are struggling with how come one kid can eat everything and the other just wants.
they just want,
simple.
simple. They know what they like, and that's it.
Yeah.
So with the chicken, you're just going to start to brown it. You do not need to cook it all the way because we're going to be taking that pasta, we're going to be putting in boiling water anyway, so it
Right.
will finish cooking in there as
Okay,
well.
yes.
Okay? So you're going to get that to about, maybe about 60-70% of the way cooked. I added a little bit of butter there,
Okay.
okay, and with that rosemary.
It smells so good.
And then, I'll take this one off the heat. And then all you would do is put it into your food processor and give it a quick chop. Now you're not trying to puree it, so you don't want it, you still want it a little bit chunkier.
Okay.
Okay? So you're gonna have to hit the pulse if your food processor has a pulse
Just a quick
feature.
little
Yep, just did
Okay.
it a couple times. Now, we have some fresh pasta sheets. And they're starting to dry out a little bit, so I'm going to use a little bit of water, and this is just water, and this will help moisten the sheets, make them tacky so you can stick them together.
So for people who don't make their own pasta at home, can you buy pasta sheets like this then? Okay.
Yeah, there would be your lasagna sheets.
Okay.
Okay, so you go to your store, you will find lasagna sheets,
Yes.
and this is what you would get.
Okay.
Then,
I always try to find the easy way out, but because I know the way I think sometimes, I'm like, there's no way I'm making homemade pasta.
you don't
right
always
now.
have time. Yeah,
Yes,
you don't always have
exactly.
time, and it is easy to go. They are good. They'll work the same thing just as
Yeah.
well. So we're gonna do these.
It's just, some people are so pressed for time sometimes, right? But you still want to make homemade food. You want to try a recipe like this.
Yep.
It's,
By adding the pasta, making your own pasta does add quite a few more steps.
sure, yes.
So, if you can find a good quality pasta sheet, by all means use it. We like using fresh pasta, but it's not for everybody. It is a tougher one to do. There we go. And
So
then,
you're still, as you say, by pulsing that, you're still getting the nice texture in there, the variation versus it just being all kind of mushy, right?
that's right. Yeah, you don't want it to be mushy. Now, all I'm going
Looks
to do
tricky.
is I'm going to find the middle, and somewhere around here I have a ravioli cutter. There
right
it
there.
is.
Try to hide it on you.
And we're going to roll it right through. There we go. There we go.
Just making little pillows.
And you make little pillows, and now you squeeze them together. This is where you pinch your corners together. And you're going to make that. Now you want to make sure that this does seal. Okay, so if it's a little bit dry, like this edge here got a little bit dry on me, just add a little bit of moisture to it.
Okay.
Now what's nice about the ravioli cutter, it's a crimper as well, so it'll help seal it.
That's good.
Okay,
Because the last thing you want to do is throw that into boiling water.
and they all open up and everything is gone everywhere. on
Dinner
you.
is not going to look so great.
That's right. So you want to pinch that down really, really well, and then you're going to trim it on all sides. And like I said, as it's cutting, it's also crimping. And then you trim them so that they're all the same. There's your
There
ravioli
you
sheet.
go. And you can see how kids would love this.
Once
Wouldn't it?
they get the
Fun.
technique, the first one,
Yeah.
it becomes a lot easier for them to do. You're just gonna have to help them out. The only thing that's a little tricky with this is you see the walnuts want to start coming through the pasta
Yeah.
sheet because they are sharp.
Sure.
So, you know, if it does, no worries. Just try to fold it over and crimp it together.
Okay. So how long are you gonna, just before we head off to break, how long would they be in the water for?
So these are going to be about 5 minutes in the water,
Okay.
4 to 5 minutes, okay? And of course, you get boiling water and you're salting it like the sea.
Okay.
Okay.
I educate everybody about that salt water story you told me now.
That's
so I
right.
always make sure you have to have salt water. You don't put oil in the water.
Don't
just
need oil
salt.
in the water, just salt, make it nice and flavorful, and away they go.
Awesome. Okay, well, we're going to do that over the break, and we're going to come back. We're going to have your finished ravioli. We'll be right back.
Live color fully at Terra, where color lives.
I am a truth seeker.
A storyteller.
A dedicated volunteer.
I am a caring neighbor.
A customer's best friend.
And a client advocate.
I am a survivor.
A social media junkie.
A proud father of 4 and problem solver.
I am the Hamilton Spectator.
I am the Hamilton Spectator.
I am the Hamilton Spectator.
I am.
We are the Hamilton Spectator.
Good morning. Welcome back to Terra at Home. Back with Chef Mark and our ravioli officially
Ravioli
prepared.
are done, yep.
Okay.
So we're just going to build a real quick sauce. And like I said, it's an all'olio, a butter all'olio. So I'm going to throw some butter in there. I got my fresh rosemary back in there. A couple pinches of salt. Some olive oil.
A lot of times kids like this sauce. They love that just on
Simple.
noodles, right?
Simple, yeah.
Maybe without the rosemary part, but kids just love that simple, just sort of a butter cheese sauce.
That's it. Makes them happy.
Yeah.
All right, and then we have our ravioli, so take these out. And again, it was about 4 or 5 minutes that we cooked these, being fresh pasta. Now, if the pasta sheets are dry, they will take a few extra minutes.
Okay. Oh, right, that's right. You have to remember that.
Yeah, it takes
Fresh
a little bit
pasta's less.
longer, depending on how dry the pasta sheets are.
Okay.
And as soon as that butter starts to brown, I'm going to throw them in.
All right.
And then
So that
it's
would
toss.
be, this is the best sauce for this pasta. Like you wouldn't want to get something too heavy, right?
You could do a cream sauce. I
Okay.
decided not to, just because it's got the sweetness and everything there.
Sure.
But if you wanted to, you definitely could do a cream sauce
Cream,
with this.
yeah, that could be good. I could see that.
Yeah, you just got to be careful because there will be water left, and you're mixing it with hot oil. So
Oh, yeah.
just
They're nice because they're nice big ravioli. I like that. You get full fast.
You get full fast. And we'll throw that onto the plate.
So just a reminder, you can grab this recipe on our website at terragreenhouses.com if you're so inclined to try to make fresh pasta yourself. That's always fun to do, right? But again, as you say, you can buy the pasta and
Yep, you can buy the pasta. You'll be able to find pasta sheets. They're
Sure.
readily available.
yeah.
And we'll throw these all
Oh, the
on.
rosemary smells good. I
Yeah,
like that. It's
it's-
very straightforward and easy. You spent more of the time on the inside.
Then the sauce or
then-
anything
yeah.
else. And some cheese.
Some cheese. And finish it off. Awesome. Thank you, Chef Mark.
Thank you.
Another great recipe to try for fall. That's it for now. Have yourself a great weekend.